What? Why are you inheriting the estate?
It was your FIL's will.
My husband will inherit my father's estate.
Divorce me.
My husband chose to leave me and remarry my sister. I was thrown into an abyss of despair. Then, a month after I was kicked out of the house, I suddenly received a phone call from my ex-husband.
Oh, hey. What the hell is going on? You cheated on me.
My name is Ava. I am a 32-year-old office worker. I currently work for my father's company. Until now, I had been working for the company I started working for after graduating from college for about 10 years. But my father asked me to work for his company on the premise that I would succeed him as the next president of the company. Now the best people in the office are teaching me all kinds of jobs.
Ava, you really are a quick learner. Regardless of the fact that you are the president's daughter, you are very talented.
Thank you. It's because of the way you all teach me. The people who worked at my father's company were all very good at their jobs, and many of them were very kind. I think this is because my father, the president of the company, is a very virtuous person. I am trying my best every day to be like him.
Good job today. Were you busy?
Yes, I had a lot to learn. When I came home, my boyfriend James greeted me.
Today, I made Ava's favorite hamburger steak.
Wow, I did it. He always comes home earlier than I do and always cooks dinner for me. He is a very important person who supports me in my busy work schedule. We met at my previous company, where he was my subordinate at the time.
I like you, Ava. Please deal with me not only as a subordinate, but also as a man.
I was taken aback when he suddenly said that to me, but from that day on I became aware of him as a man. Once I was attracted to him, I became more and more interested in him, and we went on several dates and ended up dating. We have been dating for about 2 years now, but we started living together a little while ago, and we are very much in love and happy. He is a very good cook and I am cheered up by his delicious food every day. He supports me in this way and has become an indispensable person for me. One day, he had prepared a huge number of dishes for me. What? What's wrong? Such amazing food. Was it our anniversary? I thought I had been so focused on my work that I had forgotten. If so, I was quite sorry, but it was not so.
I had prepared a special meal for you today because I wanted to talk to you about something important.
Important talk?
Ava, please marry me. I want to continue to support you.
What? I was surprised by his sudden proposal, but extremely happy. Thank you, James. I want to marry you, too.
Really?
Yes, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yes, I did it.
James looked very happy. Then we enjoyed a delicious feast and drinks prepared by him. Then he and I greeted each other's parents. My parents liked him very much because he was sincere and fresh.
James, you are so cool.
My sister Chloe also liked him. I guess she liked him in different ways. Then we started to make preparations for the wedding. We invited many people from each other's workplaces and friends and had a big wedding. We were very happy to be blessed by so many people. Even though we were living together, newlywed life felt fresh and happy. My husband continued to take the lead in housework after our marriage, and I was able to devote myself to my work.
Ava, you seem to be working even harder these days. I'm getting reports of that from the department head.
Really? I'm sure it's because James is taking the initiative in taking care of the house. He's really helping me out.
Well, that's a nice thing to have. He seems like a nice guy.
He doesn't seem like a nice guy. He is a nice guy.
I see. I'm sorry.
My father also praised my husband, which made me happy. 3 years passed in the blink of an eye. During that time, many things happened. First, I was promoted to section manager. Then, My mother was diagnosed with cancer last year and recently passed away. She took very good care of me and my sister. I was very sad of her passing. My mother's death was very painful for my father. My father acted stoutly at work, but when he was with his family, he sometimes appeared very sad and depressed. One day, my husband, who was worried about my father, made me a proposal.
If you like, why don't you move in with Phil at your parents' house?
What?
Wouldn't that be easier for you?
Thank you, James. I immediately proposed to my father that we live together.
Ava, James, are you sure?
Phil, we care about you. It's times like this when families need to support each other.
James, I was very happy that my husband cared about my father. My father was also happy to hear my husband's words. So we all lived within my father's house. My husband took the initiative in doing the housework there and served delicious food to my father and me.
Oh, this food tastes so good.
Thank you, Phil. It goes really well with red wine.
It's true, it's making me drink more and more.
You've had a little too much, Dad.
You've been drinking a lot, too, Ava.
That's true.
Well, tomorrow is a holiday, so let's drink without worrying.
My father loved my husband's cooking, and we enjoyed our meals together every day. My father gradually regained his energy and began to smile more outside of the office. He began to work hard as the president of the company, and I was able to devote myself to my work with peace of mind. However, about a year later, my father suddenly fell ill. My husband and I rushed to the hospital. Dad, are you okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, both of you, for worrying me.
No, but I'm glad you're okay. The doctor told me you would have been in danger if you hadn't been found.
I see. I may have pushed myself a little too hard. I've been working really hard.
My father had been working without a break since he started his company. That is why he pushed himself so hard when he was young. My father's body is suffering from a serious illness and he needs to be hospitalized. The people at the company were quite upset by the absence of the president. I made every effort to support the company in my father's place. My husband went to visit my father even when I was too busy with work. However, my father's condition was getting worse and worse, and my husband and I decided that it was time to make a decision. About a month later, he passed away. I was very saddened by his death.
My husband hugged me as I broke down in tears and said, "Let's see him off properly."
I nodded my head and together with my husband, we prepared and made arrangements for the funeral. Many people attended my father's funeral, which showed how much he was loved. We saw him off firmly, and the funeral went off without a hitch. A few days later, a lawyer and my sister came to my parents' house to discuss my father's estate.
Let me open the will.
The lawyer opened the will and read out the contents.
It says that James will inherit all of his father's estate, Chloe will inherit the remainder of his estate, and Ava will not inherit any of his estate.
What? What does that mean? I could not believe my ears. Why would I not receive an inheritance? Why would you inherit the estate? I didn't understand this point either. But my husband did not seem to have any doubts at all.
It is Phil's will.
He said it as if it were a matter of course.
Since Phil has written in his will that you will not inherit, you will have to renounce your inheritance.
No, no.
It can't be helped, Ava. Even I only get the remainder.
I was also concerned about my sister's lack of rebellion. My sister did not get along with my father very well. She was the type of person who only wanted what was good for herself and had no appreciation for her parents. So when she was a child, she did whatever she wanted, much to the annoyance of her parents. My father and mother were always trying to help her. But after she graduated from a vocational school, She moved from one man's house to another and never got a regular job. When she goes back to my parents' house, it's when I need money. When I reported that my husband and I were getting married, she must have come to see us out of curiosity. I was still convinced that my sister, who had been annoying my parents in this way, would only get the remainder of the estate. However, it was strange that my sister did not rebel. There was no reason why my sister, who often came to collect money from parents, would not be angry at the fact that her share of the inheritance was so small. However, I could not find out the reason, so I had no choice but to proceed according to the will. My husband was to inherit my father's estate. According to the story, he was to inherit 3 million in cash. My husband was to inherit most of it, and I had to file for disinheritance. Well, I guess my father had his own ideas. But right after I renounced the inheritance, my husband's attitude suddenly changed and he suddenly said to me,
I want a divorce.
"What? What do you mean?
There is someone else I want to be with.
You mean you were having an affair?"
That's what people would say. Well, from my point of view, I'd say it was fate.
"You betrayed me."
Well, don't be so angry. Today, I'm having the woman I'm having an affair with.
What? I wondered what the hell he was up to. Then the front door opened and my sister came into the living room.
Yoo-hoo, Ava.
"Hello, Chloe. Could it be that the adulteress is you?"
I'm sorry. I stole your precious husband away from you, but he chose me too, so it can't be helped.
Yeah, that's right. I prefer Chloe to Ava.
Oh, that's so cool.
My husband and sister flirting in front of me. My husband chose to leave me and remarry my sister.
Here are the divorce papers. Just write it down and get out of here. I inherited this house from my stepfather. I went to see him every day, and we talked, and he liked me even more. He told me he would inherit all of his estate. Well, he didn't know that Chloe and I were dating behind your back.
My husband laughs high when he says that. He really is the worst. I packed my bags and left the house, overcome with grief. I was thrown into an abyss of despair. After staying at a business hotel, hotel and crying all night, I went to a real estate agency. I immediately rented a room in an apartment for a single person. Then I went to work, my wounds still unhealed. Even if my husband and sister betrayed me, I had to make sure the company was in good hands. Then, a month after I was kicked out of the house, I suddenly received a phone call from my ex-husband.
Oh, hey. What the hell is going on? You cheated on me.
What? What on earth are you talking about?
About your father's debt. Why didn't you tell me?
What? Debt? I couldn't believe my ears. I had never heard of my father being in debt, but according to my husband and sister, who inherited the estate, my father was in debt to the tune of $4 million.
It seems he was a co-signer for some of his friends' debts. He died, so we inherited the money, and now we're being billed for it.
I was astonished, and I wondered if this might have been my father's strategy. Then the voice on the phone changed to my sister.
You knew everything. That's why you agreed to the divorce.
No, I didn't. I was just in shock and wanted to get out of that house as soon as possible. I didn't know your father was in debt.
How could you do this to me? Even if we sell the house, we'll still owe $500,000 more.
That's how my sister and her ex-husband lamented. But this is an opportunity for me. Even so, I renounce my inheritance. So you who receive the inheritance will have to repay the debt. And aren't you forgetting this too? Alimony to me.
Wait a minute. You're asking for alimony from us who are suffering so much.
You're the ones who put yourselves in a situation where you had to suffer. I was intentionally made to suffer by you. It's only right that you should pay for it. I will charge you and James 30 $50,000 each. I hope you're in debt and in despair.
Hi.
I heard the pitiful screams of my ex-husband and sister. I hung up the phone and immediately filed a claim for compensation through my lawyer. The lawyer I requested at that time was the one who read the will at my father's funeral.
He said to me, "Actually, I have a letter from your father." He handed me a letter left by my father.
When I read the letter, I was surprised. To my surprise, my father knew about the affair between my ex-husband and my sister. When he was in the hospital, his secretary saw the two together. So my father thought of this revenge to punish my ex-husband and sister for betraying me. He also wrote that he would give up his position as president to me, and that he had already informed the executives of the company about it.
Ava, please take good care of my company and employees.
After read the last part of the letter, I was determined to protect my father's company. Soon after that, my sister and her ex-husband suddenly stormed into the company and shouted at me.
I am your father's son. That's why I'm going to be the president from now on.
That's right. Normally, the husband of the eldest daughter should be the president.
The two insisted so. At this point, the vice president came to them.
It has been decided that the position of president will be succeeded by Ava. As outsiders, we will ask you to pay for the damages caused by your interference in our business.
Oh, compensation for damages.
The two men flinched at the calm remark of the vice president and the word damages.
We can call the police and report you as suspicious. Either way, you're going to be in a lot of pain.
Hi.
The two quickly fled out of the company. I guess they did not want to do any more damage to their debt-ridden situation. Since then, they have not been seen at all. Well, I guess they are too busy paying off their debts now. Since then, I have officially assumed the position of president and am currently working hard as a business owner with the support of many people. Many of my clients have seen me working hard and have continued to sign contracts with me. I am grateful for the kindness of the people around me, and I will do my best to become a president who is adored like